What's good, anime fam? Today we're diving into the ultimate revenge fantasy, Isekai shows where overpowered main characters get betrayed and come back swinging. Trust me, these hits different when you're craving justice. Kicking off with number 6, The Fruit of Evolution. Before I knew it, my life had it made. Hiiragi gets summoned to another world as humanity's supposed savior, only to be abandoned by his classmates when they discover his pathetic stats. Left to die, he stumbles upon magical fruits that transform him. Okay, let's be real here. This one's a bit of a guilty pleasure. The animation isn't winning any awards, and the pacing feels like someone hit fast forward on a remote control. But there's something oddly satisfying about watching Hiiragi go from zero to hero after being tossed aside like yesterday's homework. The Betrayal isn't as deep-cutting as others on this list, but it sets up that classic underdog story we all secretly love. What really gets me is how the show handles his transformation. 1 minute he's this chubby, insecure guy getting bullied, and the next he's basically an anime protagonist straight out of central casting. The romantic subplot with the gorilla-turned-beautiful woman is, well, it exists. I won't judge your taste if you enjoyed it, but let's just say it's not for everyone. Still, for what it's worth, seeing Hiiragi prove his former classmates wrong hits those revenge satisfaction buttons just right. This is Emma vs Anime. Watch this video to the end and hit that subscribe button now. Sliding to number 5, Trapped in a Dating Sim. The world of otome games is tough for mobs. Leon gets reincarnated into an otome game world where he's just background noise. After his fiancée publicly humiliates him, he decides to break free from his predetermined fate as a mob character. Now this is what I'm talking about. Leon might be one of the most relatable protagonists in Isekai history. Dude literally gets reincarnated into a world designed to make his life miserable, and instead of accepting it, he goes, "Nah, I'm good," and starts playing by his own rules. The betrayal by his fiancée Marie is brutal because it's so public and calculated. She doesn't just dump him, she destroys his reputation in front of everyone. What makes this show special is how Leon uses his knowledge of the game to essentially break the system. He's not interested in being the hero or winning over the love interests. He just wants to live comfortably and maybe get a little payback along the way. The mecha elements thrown into this otome game world are absolutely bonkers, but somehow it all works together. Leon's sarcastic commentary throughout the series is pure gold, and honestly, his attitude toward the whole situation mirrors how most of us would probably react. Plus, watching him turn the tables on a society designed to keep him down while the main characters struggle with their predetermined roles? Chef's kiss. Wait, absolutely perfect storytelling right there. Landing on number 4, Sonny Boy. A group of students suddenly find themselves drifting through different dimensions with supernatural powers, but the social hierarchies and betrayals from their original world follow them into these strange new realities. Alright, I need to be upfront with you. Sonny Boy is weird. Like, really weird. This isn't your typical power fantasy isekai, where the MC gets a harem and becomes the strongest being alive. This is psychological horror, disguised as a school supernatural drama, and it will mess with your head in the best possible way. The betrayals in Sonny Boy hit different because they're not about romantic rejection or being kicked out of a party. They're about human nature itself, how people create the same toxic power structures even when transported to completely alien worlds. Nagara isn't overpowered in the traditional sense, but his ability becomes crucial, and watching his former classmates turn on him and each other is genuinely disturbing. What got to me most was how the show explores themes of isolation and belonging. These kids are literally lost between dimensions, but somehow the psychological distance between them feels even greater than the physical space. The animation style shifts and morphs throughout the series, reflecting the unstable nature of their reality. Fair warning though, this one requires your full attention. Miss a few episodes and you'll be more lost than the characters themselves. Looking at number 3, Welcome to Demon School. Iruma-kun. Iruma's awful parents literally sell him to a demon, but instead of being eaten, he ends up enrolled in demon school, where he must hide his human identity while navigating supernatural politics and friendships. Here's where things get interesting, because the betrayal happens right at the beginning. Iruma's own parents sell him out. But what follows is actually one of the most wholesome isekai experiences you'll ever watch. Sullivan, the demon who buys Iruma, becomes more of a parent to him than his actual parents ever were. It's both heartwarming and heartbreaking when you think about it. Iruma's journey from timid pushover to confident leader is handled with such care and realistic pacing. He doesn't suddenly become overpowered overnight. His growth feels earned through genuine relationships and personal development. The comedy hits perfectly, especially when Iruma accidentally does something that makes the demons think he's this incredible bad boy when he's literally just trying to be helpful. What I love most is how the show subverts expectations about demons being evil. Sure, they're chaotic and have their own moral code, but many of them show more genuine care for Iruma than his human parents ever did. Clara and Asmodeus becoming his ride-or-die friends despite the species barrier is the kind of found family content that hits you right in the feels. Plus, watching Iruma slowly gain confidence and start standing up for himself and others, that's character development done right. Moving to number 2, Failure Frame. I became the strongest and annihilated everything with low-level spells. Tuka gets summoned to another world with his classmates, but receives the lowest possible stats and useless-seeming abilities. His classmates and the goddess who summoned them label him a failure and abandon him to die. Oh boy, if you're looking for a revenge story that doesn't pull any punches, this is your show. The betrayal here is absolutely savage. Not only do his classmates abandon him, but the literal goddess who summoned him writes him off as worthless. Talk about divine rejection. But here's the thing about Tuka. He's got that quiet genius energy that's absolutely terrifying when properly motivated. The way he analyzes and exploits his seemingly weak abilities is genuinely brilliant. While everyone else is swinging around flashy magic and legendary weapons, Tuka's out here turning basic status effect spells into weapons of mass destruction. It's like watching someone win a boss fight using only the starting equipment, except the boss fight is an entire corrupt kingdom. What sets this apart from other revenge isekai is how methodical and calculating Tuka becomes. He doesn't just want to prove his worth, he wants to systematically dismantle the entire system that rejected him. Some might call it overkill, but honestly, after seeing how cruelly he was treated, you start rooting for him to burn it all down. The psychological warfare he wages against his former classmates and their allies is both satisfying and slightly disturbing. This one definitely earns its mature rating. And finally, number 1, Tsukimichi, Moonlit Fantasy. Makoto gets transported to another world to be a hero, but is immediately rejected by the goddess for being too ugly. Cast to the wasteland's edge, he discovers he's incredibly powerful and builds his own society with the monsters everyone else fears. This is it, folks. The ultimate your loss story. The goddess literally takes one look at Makoto and goes, "Ooh, no thanks," before yeeting him to the literal edge of the world. But here's the beautiful irony. By rejecting him, she accidentally created her own worst nightmare. Makoto doesn't just become powerful, he becomes a legitimate threat to the entire world order she's trying to maintain. What makes Tsukimichi special is how Makoto handles his rejection. Instead of seeking revenge against the goddess directly, he builds something better. His relationships with Tomoe and Mio feel genuine and earned, not like typical isekai harem dynamics. These aren't love interests who fall for him because he's the protagonist. They respect his power and character after getting to know him. The world building is absolutely top tier, and Makoto's gradual realization of just how messed up the civilized world really is provides great social commentary. He's not trying to be a hero in the traditional sense, but his actions consistently help people who've been forgotten or abandoned by society. The irony that the goddess's reject becomes a better leader and more moral person than her chosen heroes is just perfect. Plus, his deadpan reactions to the increasingly ridiculous situations around him never get old. And there you have it, 6 isekai shows where betrayal becomes the catalyst for something amazing. Whether your team revenge or team living well is the best revenge, these series deliver the satisfaction we all crave. Which betrayal hit you hardest? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more anime goodness.